set it up. Are we live?
Probably.
We're live, but I can't see you.
Okay. Let's see if we're live. Wait for the comments to stream in if we're live. Are we live? No?
Okay, I can.
Okay, cool. We're live. Okay. Okay, cool. This is our first time ever doing this. I don't know what the hell this is about, but this is not going to be super serious. It's not going to be like some very polished pitch.
We have beer.
We have beer. We're here. This is Soju from Jupiter. He hits LFG, so I've invited him over, and hopefully I can answer questions about or anything on Sanctum side, and then Soju will be able to answer any questions about the LFG side. That's good. And then
Let's
sorry. Up a bit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't see cloud.
Okay, so there's no cash here. We're not professionals. So
Cash, we miss you. Can you come to Singapore immediately?
So bear with us. Yeah. Okay, cool. So first things first. Cheers. Cheers. All right. We're in the office.
Down in Singapore.
And I thought that I would start off by we have all these questions and comments. I thought that we would start off by reading aloud the post because I know that many of you have probably read it, but I know a lot of people don't read it, and so that's fine. We will read it out. Well, I will read it out for you guys. And if you've already read it, feel free to leave the stream and come back in 5 minutes or something. But just for everybody, I will just read it out.
Just like John. No, we were saying that we want you to be in Singapore, Cash. We need your help right here.
Okay, so let me just share the screen. Okay, one sec. Put this back on.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So I will start reading. Actually,
put a small,
do you think we can? How do we make this smaller? You think we can?
It's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah, you think it's fine?
Just
Okay, it's fine. You know what? You guys put on the. He says Kashish is on route. Ask him to fly fast.
Okay,
fly faster.
Fly faster.
Okay, so those who have read it, you can feel free to sort of tune off, log off. I don't know, like come back later. But I'm just gonna read it. Okay, let's begin. So. Introducing Cloud, the Sanctum token. So thank you all first and foremost for the outpouring of comments and suggestions on my first tokenomics proposal. I am floored by the power of our community. There are dozens of forum posts, hundreds of comments, and thousands of thoughtful Discord messages. And here, I want to give a special shout out to James Hanley, who wrote an excellent contribution to suggest how the community allocations should be used. I didn't manage to put the link in, but I will link it in a bit. As you know, we did a community poll and on Discord, and like Cloud was like the clear favorite. At the start we thought it was a little bit we thought it was a bit stupid, but after thinking about it more, it kind of grew on us. We decided, since our logo is a cloud anyway, let's go like full retardio mode and make cloud the ticker. And I think it's cool, right? Okay, so first thing to announce, we have closed Wonderland Season 1 ahead of schedule. So if you go to the website now, you'll see that it's kind of like closed, there's like a new thing and your points are not accruing, everything shut off. The foremost purpose when we designed Wonderland, we really tried to delight our users and provide a respite from point program fatigue. And I am very happy that people got that and that we achieved this goal. So people really loved the design of Wonderland, and we had community quests, and like the response was incredible. Like the Discord just blew up, and people solved it a lot quicker than we expected. So it exceeded our wildest expectations in every single way. We have something like 317,000 unique wallets and lots of active users on the Discord. We were originally going to run it for longer. We were going to run it actually for 3 months exactly, so 12 quests. We had evolutions in the pipeline and so on. But we already hit 1 billion TVL. Everything just blew up, and so we don't want it to overstay its welcome. So we decided to end it on a high note rather than to just sort of drag it on, just because we planned for 12 weeks. Yeah. One other thing, we thought about launching season 2 immediately after the end of season 1, But in the end, we decided against it. This was a little bit of a, like it would be, if we launch season 2 right away, it keeps people on the hook, so to speak, right? And
Sorry.
oh my God, stop playing with it. Stop playing with the marker, dude.
So sorry.
We have a whiteboard here, so for any questions. Sorry. Anyway, we decided like season 2. We just didn't have the time to build it really good, and we want season 2 to be like something that will be mind blowing, something that will make season 1 look like the existing point programs. Something that really will blow your mind. And of course, given that so we're gonna launch season 2 after TGE, and so the cloud token will take pride of place in season 2. I'm very prepared for the TVL to drop now that we've announced the end of season 1. That's totally fine. So usually what founders would do once they hit 1 billion TVL is they would go to the VCs who are knocking at their doors, right, and be like, okay, here, look how great we are. Would you like to write a check for $100 million? I'm not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that. And so it doesn't really matter what the TVL is. What matters to us actually is just real stake from real people. So if you're enjoying the product, if you're having fun staking into Jupsol or any of the other LSTs, right? Like that's what we care about. And I could care less about those sort of inflated numbers. Just some housekeeping. We know we have some issues with the retroactive EXP. Everything's on chain. Everything can be figured out. We're working on fixing this, so not to worry there. So the thing I want to talk about, like we're doing something that is really near and dear to my heart, which is that we are really making this token launch fully public, right? LFG is not just a token launchpad. It's not a way to just get some easy publicity and then launch a token. And it's definitely not for your team and investors to dump on retail. Just an aside, it's very important to have team and investor tokens all locked up, in my opinion, right? Primarily LFG lets us get the cloud token to the right people, which is you guys, in a transparent and decentralized and fair manner. So just a little bit of a detour on how sexes work, right? Like sexes, because they control sort of like how the print works, and so whereas in LFG you have the curves and everything sort of like where the bins are, right? How the price moves. Whereas in the sex, like how they market make the price as it goes up or down, there's very little sort of transparency there. It's important to me that everybody gets the same opportunity to get the token. So no matter who you know or how deep your pockets are. We have had a lot of VC interest, like a lot. I have turned down every single one of them. So I've told them you can buy it at launch like everybody else. We will start the curve low. So we'll start the curve at the same price as our first ever round, which is at a $50 million FDV. And so that, to be clear, that doesn't mean the whole thing will be selling at 50 million FTV. The curve goes up like this, right? So not everybody will get this price. It depends on where in the curve you buy, but it will start at 50 million, and we'll sell a relatively larger proportion of the supply, so 8%. So combined with the airdrop, which is 10%, we have 18% of the total supply unlocked at launch. And so this is what we want. We wanted to have high float, low FTV. Projects in the past used to launch like very little and have like crazy inflated FTVs. We don't want that. We want to start low, go up, right? And so the true potential of LFG lies in channeling the attention and wisdom of 250,000 people into improving our product and roadmap, and then eventual token launch. And so I want to lean very hard into that. So, I might offend you for this, but I think like previous projects on LFG have not really utilized the full potential of LFG, right? And like they have, kind of used it as just a launchpad, but it's really not just a launchpad, right? So here is me trying to do a truly public token launch, right? And here's me trying to pull away the curtain of exactly what goes into launching a good token, and to get your input every step of the way. Right, so we will kick off with a Sanctum Twitter broadcast. That's this one, and then subsequently we're going to do deep dive whiteboard sessions on the LFG vault and curve design. So here's not the place. We might go through a couple, but like there will be deep dive when we have sort of like more of the curve, and then we'll explain to you how this works, how we're going to prevent bots from scooping up tokens very quickly, and make sure everybody gets like a fair and good entry price. And then we will end off hopefully with a special Jupiter fan recall. There's a lot to learn when launching a token. So I've spoken with lots of founders, Drift, Camino, Jupiter, right? And there's lots of things to learn. Here is my attempt at documenting this process, right? To document all our learnings and all of our fuck ups along the way. I will try my best to bring you guys all on the journey so that everybody can learn from it, including sort of founders that come after, right? And then, like the goal is to really spearhead the decentralized meta, right? And then hopefully we, the meme with the handshake, yeah, to bring it together. Yeah. So a little bit about the airdrop. Now I can't talk too much about it. But we are looking at ways to design to create what we call in game theory a separating equilibrium. So broadly speaking, there are two kinds of people. There are dumpers and there are sort of true believers. Obviously, life is more complicated than that. But broadly speaking, there are two categories, and it's very hard to tell the difference between two. But what if you could design something or offer them a choice, right? And this choice is designed in such a way such that the farmers will pick one choice and dump, and the dumpers will pick one choice, and the true believers will pick another choice. And so that's the kind of idea. So Drift kind of did a little bit with this. They have 50% unlock at the TGE, so you could claim it immediately. But if you waited 6 hours, you could claim double your allocation. So that is kind of like an example. So if you're a farmer, you'd be like, oh, I want this right away, and so I, take that 50%. But if you're a true believer, if you're willing to wait 6 hours, you can get double the allocation. But I think it worked, but it didn't work like too well because like 6 hours is frankly speaking not too long, not that long a time to wait. So even the dumpers would have waited that 6 hours. And so one simple tweak would be 50% at start, and then it slowly unlocks over 7 days. And you can claim anytime. But if you claim, then you forfeit the remainder. So again, none of this. I'm not committing to like this is what we're gonna do for sure. Just sort of floating some of these ideas out and seeing how people respond to them. Yeah. So let's talk about token utility. So the token is used for governance, right, which is validator voting on SIMDs and so on, and it also controls a scarce resource, which is block space. And of course, with the congestion and stake-weighted QoS is becoming more and more important. I thought personally when I was designing tokenomics, like what is the scarce resource cloud would control? So very clearly, it's going to be used as governance for sure, and it controls capital. But the scarcest resource is attention. So going forward, prospective partners will need to stake cloud token to qualify to be part of the Sanctum Verified Partner Program. And apart from that, right, cloud holders will also vote on which partners will actually make it in. And these partners will be lavished with attention by us and hopefully by the community as well, as we give them custom pets, quests, and more for their LSTs. And in Wonderland Season 2, right, cloud will take pride of place. Again, all of this is sort of not. It's not concrete yet, but we're looking to really make, holding the token a rewarding experience when you join Wonderland. So one of the things I'm not interested in is like short-term sort of like gauges or, gauges where you lock it up for like 4 years or something, like bribing or revenue share until much later down the line. The reason is because it's like our vision is going to grow exponentially over the months and years. As Sanctum grows to become a cornerstone of the world economy, we will have many, many possible utilities for cloud. And I think it's important not to restrict ourselves what it can be right now. So this one is like a little bit spicy. We refuse, like categorically refuse to pay any centralized exchange listing fees. So I wrote this here, right? Public commitment, will never pay sex listing fees of any sort, zero, nada, zilch. That doesn't mean we are not going to work with the sexes, right? They can list us at any time. We welcome them to do so. We just refuse to pay any fees. And so this is, perhaps this is something that to most people might be like, oh, okay, I don't know what that means. But to be frank, I think to us in the space, this almost sounds like suicide in a way. But nonetheless, why have we done this, right? And the reason is because like sexes ask for a lot, and in my opinion, they don't deliver too much in value. When you give your tokens to them, you have very zero control and zero transparency, right? Sexes ask for very large listing fees, 1%, 3%, 10% of total supply, and I'd much rather that these tokens go back to the Sanctum community instead. Some sexes ask for like a security deposit, which is like up to $500,000, $500,000. That and they say like if you don't drive enough new users to my platform, and to use my to sort of like buy the token, like we will actually take this money away, right? Again, this is not money that I want to just give away to the sexes. And sometimes sexes fuck up, right? So one of Drift's sex partners listed their tokens 2 hours earlier, and then basically this caused the price to go crazy. So so not great. Despite this, right, founders frequently fall over themselves to just fillet the sexes and secure the listing at all costs, because it's a really big risk to do otherwise, right? Despite ourselves, right, like they still control a lot of the distribution. They have a lot of users, right? Jupiter has 2 million users. Binance has like a gazillion, right? So I mean that's just a fact, right? And so for a lot of founders, this is like very, very scary, or like you can't even imagine. And a lot of the times, sexes kind of, I would say, like prey on this fear or this insecurity, because your token is like your baby, your blood, right? Your blood, sweat, and tears, 3 years of effort. And to the sex, it's just another Tuesday. It's like, there's another token. And so there's this like huge information asymmetry. They've done this like a lot of times before, and they control everything. And you are only going to launch like one token in your life. Well, I mean, maybe more, but like for me, hopefully this is it, right? This token has already taken like 10 years off my life. I don't think I could do another one. So like, are you going to do something very different, right, which will flop, or are you going to follow like the playbook, right? Get listed on all the top tier like Binance, Bybit, OKX, etc., right? And so like this is a very hard choice, right? So we struggled a lot. Like we've been talking about this for months. And we may well regret it, right? Because sexes have a lot of users. But in the end, I decided to follow my heart and then go with what we think is right. And I will say that like I trust Jupiter like completely, and I think that this is the right thing to do, right? So the tides are changing. We now have a critical mass of Solana native users thanks to Jupiter, Drip, and all the meme coin summer, right? Engineering wise, the chain is a lot better now than it was before. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, it doesn't get worse. So like why we're here, right? Like our goal is really to try and push forward the decentralized meta and to build this Solana native economy. And so I think it would be a very bad look if we launch of sexes and made like the on-chain experience like almost like a second-class citizen, right? So on-chain needs to be a first-class citizen with the help of LFG, right? And let's make this like a launch that will go down in the history books. Well, for good or for bad, I don't know, but like people will remember this. Yeah, and so let's finally let's talk through the numbers. So Taker is Cloud. Thank you for that. Total supply 1 billion. Initial circulating supply 18%. I mentioned this. So all of this 18% unlocked at launch, 10% in initial airdrop, 8% in the LFG launch pool. The proceeds will go to the strategic. So basically, all of this stuff, right, is going to be in the pool, right? We're going to pull the liquidity after everybody has come in and bought and sold, all right? So all of this will go to the strategic reserve. Yeah. Community reserve 30%. So 30%. So we had originally 40%, right? So we're giving out 10% in the airdrop. The remaining 30%, this will be completely sort of community governed. And I have my opinions to how it is governed, right? I think it should be used strategically to grow the pie via future airdrops, active staking rewards, grants, etc. I don't think like we should vote and give like the 30% like tomorrow, right? Like although that's like just my opinion, right? You guys decide what it is to do at the end of the day. And again, I want to shout out sort of James Hanley, his like a great whiteboard suggestion there. Yep, 13% of the supply allocated to strategic reserve. This is team controlled, used to grow, earmarked for growth of the Sanctum ecosystem. So future acqui-hires, like you guys bought
another team,
Ultimate Wallet, right? That's public information, right?
Public
information.
Okay,
so no leaking down there. Earmarked for acquiring, hiring people, strategic investors potentially, LST partners, grant recipients, loans to MMs, providing on-chain liquidity or liquidity mining and so on, right? So that's strategic reserve. 1%, this is the fee that we're giving to Jupiter LFG. Very happy to pay that.
We should be distributed to all the Jupiter voters
yes.
over the past like 6 months or so it's not my pocket.
Team 25% of the supply allocated to founders and core contributors. Who have been building Sanctum for more than 3 years. And then 13% of the supply sold to investors. We sold some tokens at 50 million, some at 60 million, most of them back in 2021. Full details, you can find it on our blog. So all team tokens are unlocked over 3 years with a 1-year cliff. That means that after 12 months, 33% of the tokens are locked, and then the rest will vest linearly. And so after 3 years, all of them will be vested. This is pretty standard. Yeah, okay, we're coming to the end. Thanks for bearing with me. So when token, what's next? Can't tell you exactly the date, but we're moving as fast as we can. Yeah, this is what we're doing right now. And for the next few weeks, we'll be incredibly public, right? So expect deep dives with the Jupyter and Meteora team on LFG curve design, a reveal and explanation of our airdrop criteria, so that, I know a lot of people are waiting for that. And then a special edition of a Plan to Recall. Yeah, we'll be very stressed out, but we're gonna have a lot of fun, hopefully. So I've asked the whole team, our team is everywhere. They're gonna fly over to Singapore for the launch. We're gonna have a little launch party as we put our labor of love, 3.5 years of blood, sweat, and tears, finally out to sea. And yeah, will you join us on our maiden voyage? Okay, cool. That was a long read. Thank you. Okay, so let's read through the. Oh my God, there's so many fucking. Where do we start? I guess we can start from
the tweets.
From Twitter. Yeah, let's do that. Share this tab instead. Okay, please reply to this thread. Oh my God, so many questions. Oh my God. Wait, sorry, 1 sec. I just need to find. Need to find all the comments. Wait, yeah. Okay, so the first question: why are you such a cutie? I think he was talking about.
No, it's definitely
Soju is single, by the way.
He's
so,
feel
free to slide into the DMs. Yeah, I liked it again. Yeah. Thoughts? The airdrop 50% unlocking over 7 days is a little weird. Like not here, not there. Okay. For the vault, ideally it's kept by USDC investor for a long time. So long-term buyers get a good entry at the early pool part while not taking off too much interest off the early market. Okay, good thoughts. Not a question. So
we'll definitely dive into that much more in detail because the vault is something that's less familiar by everyone. Mel is talking about the new alpha vault that Meteora launched, which will be a big topic of conversation in the next few weeks.
Have you guys reviewed that yet?
Yes. The Airdrop launch, the last LFG launch had the Meteora alpha vault, which is what Mel is referring to here.
Yeah. So Meteora alpha vault. Meteora alpha vault.
Yeah. We will definitely dive into that much more in detail.
That is a to do. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's not a question. So I mean, but good thoughts. Yeah. When airdrop? Oh my God, what the fuck? It's got so many likes. Yeah, I mean, look, it's we're working on it. Why can't I like this? Oh my God, what the fuck?
Too many bottles.
Okay. Okay, that's not a question. The upcakes from cupcakes already added to total season 1 EXP? No. 6 hours.
Wow, no? Okay.
No. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's. I think it's a separate thing. Yeah. Okay. Curious, why not even longer? Might actually be the preference for long horizons believers. I think potentially. So there are again, all of this is sort of like off the cuff. It's not like set in stone. I think. There is a case for making it longer, but at the same time, there's also a case for sort of like ripping the band-aid off and sort of getting it off quicker. So I think pros and cons. So Jupyter, I mean, you guys have made this clear. Like you prefer it to be like one.
No, up to you.
Okay.
Our code base is designed to do it at one go. We do have vesting, but not like where you claim you will give out the remainder. Yeah.
So I think fundamentally, if you guys think about like there are a couple of things we can play with, right? So you could think about like the initial, like what's the initial amount, and then what's the final amount, and then the duration towards that.
Yep.
And the idea is that different people have different time preferences, or they have different beliefs over how much the token is going to be worth, and so. They will sort of choose to exit at different parts of the curve. I think, 7 days could work, month could work. I think what I don't want to do is drag it on too long, and then I think it might be like a bad, because look, like the token, I feel it might be quite psychologically damaging if for example, the curve, way back when people used to lock it for 4 years, right? And it's like, wow, great, but at the same time, it's also very psychologically damaging for the long term. People, the most long term, the most bullish people are locked for 4 years, while for example, the bear market hits and then they're down 90%. So it's there are some considerations, but I think in general, right? Nothing stops us from doing like a month long unlock. So yeah, good question. Can I still participate in season 1? Unfortunately not. We just closed. If we use our LSTs on other protocols, we're not missing out on pet EXP and all, so we should save to do so now. I wasn't using mine anywhere because I didn't want to miss out EXP. Yeah, this is kind of like a little bit why we wanted to end it as well. We didn't want people to feel, held hostage by the Sanctum. Although even though technically you're not really, like you can just, you can just choose to do whatever you want, points are not compulsory. Yeah, but that's a good question. So part of that is to try and relieve this pressure. If you like Camino, go forth and multiply, right?
Yeah.
So
many places you can use group
many,
by the way.
Many places. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Pac Moon an inspiration in terms of marketing? No,
Who is that?
I have no idea. Do you know?
No.
Okay. No, I've never heard of them. Cloud. Okay. Will Solar be integrated in season 2? So no promises, but like the whole point of taking a long break between season 1 and 2 is so that we can really try and scale up, right, and basically allow for everything, in season 1, that season 1 could not, right? So, probably yes, we'll try to integrate as much as possible. But it's also possible, for example, like the cloud, people our developmental resources are also quite limited. And it potentially one utility of the cloud token will be to vote on which DeFi integrations make it into future seasons. So that is possible as well. Yeah. Points are still adding up on the website even though season 1 ended. That should not be the case. I'm not sure. Can somebody check that? Yeah. What would happen to INF? Should we hold or switch to different? I don't understand what this question means.
The more you switch from INF to other LSTs, the more trading fees INF gets. So please go ahead and do it. Thank you so much. Sorry,
what is happening? When is the airdrop and what is it? Again, no fixed date yet, but really we're trying to move as quickly as we can. Yeah. Community reserve. I've already mentioned this, so this will be community controlled. You guys decide. Can we be friends? This is cute. Of course we can. What about rewards for the cupcakes? TBD. Yeah. We'll review more details at a later date. Will be any kind of penalty? There has never been any penalty. Right? It's just that if you hold INF, you got points. So yeah, there's no penalty. Yeah. Can we join the launch party too? Yeah, of course, we're here in the launch party. Oh wait, no, he meant the airdrop launch, the token launch.
Yeah, he wants to
launch
be
party. Well, it depends on how well LFG does, then we can invite the whole Sanctum community over. Yeah.
I mean, there's Breakpoint in Singapore where we are all
That's
based.
true. That's true. So Breakpoint this year, Sanctum has actually sponsored the post. I think we sponsored the closing party. Have to ask.
Wow.
I think
we
booked like the whole venue and stuff. So hope to see you guys there. Yeah. When listing, this is okay. Same question. Ooh la la, that's cute. LFG tokenomics. Okay, great, wonderful. Show more replies. Well, we're making a good. Why ask to have social accounts connected? Will users be disadvantaged if they don't want their social profile associated with a wallet? Yeah. So this is part of our multi-wallet feature. So a lot of people were saying like, hey, I've accidentally self-referred myself. Are you guys gonna zero it out? Or they say like, I have like a ledger and blah blah blah, right? It's like, is it possible to connect and so on? I'm not comfortable with signing with my ledger, things like that. So we know that people have multiple wallets. Like I've got tons of wallets personally. That this is just good practice, and so we're not going to penalize that. But we're giving you a chance to sort of connect them together, and then we can look at all of them in one profile. Yeah.
I want to answer the question.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the next question is to take part in the launch in LG. You need Jupes. Not everyone has Jupe. So we actually designed LG as a way to be Solana's launchpad, where anybody on Solana, if you have USDC, you can participate in the launch. And by participating in the launch, I mean you can claim your airdrop, you can trade, you can swap for the token, you can use the alpha vault from Meteora, you can DCA or limit order or swap. Anything is all able to be you can do all of them. And we're actually working with DBridge, who's our next launch partner, to come out with EVM functionality. So you'll be able to connect your EVM wallets and use DBridge like cross-messaging infrastructure to claim tokens or even swap or DC or limit order. So then after that, it will be crypto's launchpad without any like minimum like. There's no barrier to entry at all completely as long as you have a crypto wallet.
So you're saying they won't need Sol to.
That's
like,
the goal.
No gas fees.
We'll figure the gas part out, but the
Wow.
goal is to make sure you don't even need a
Wow.
Solana wallet. Yeah,
It's
We are-
amazing. That's
we are working on
amazing,
it.
actually.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
So-
I mean, obviously, we're only dropping to Sol users.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Dbridge
that's
has a lot because Dbridge has a lot of users on a lot of chains, so they need it.
Oh.
So the key use case for Dbridge is actually to help users come to Solana. So they're hoping that this launch will help bring even more people to Solana.
That's sick. That's actually sick. Okay, cool. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and yeah, actually, so on a personal basis, I've always like decide the way people use launchpads to like particularly pump the value of the token, where you like, oh, only my holders can get the cheapest price and no one else. And
Right.
we want to avoid. We build RLG to avoid things like that. So as far as it is now, definitely you can definitely participate in RLG no matter what. Even if you don't have Job. Yeah. So, but thanks for asking.
I mean, to take part in the launch, you don't need Juke, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just need Sol technically to claim. I mean, and hopefully not even then.
A Phantom wallet, maybe. Yeah. Any Solana wallet.
Yeah.
I don't know. They may have some
Okay,
questions
so
too.
yeah, okay, so I think that's all of the questions. Let's go. Oh my God, so like, how are we gonna all the way up? Overlay. What does this do? Okay, let's just hide this. Does this work? Chat overlay. Okay, cool. We're gonna answer all these questions.
Nice.
Oh, perfect. Congrats to the team, GM folks. What's up? Okay, so let's skip these. What's the whiteboard about? Great work not dragging the seasons. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, it was same.
Where? Oh, Xian. Hi, Xian.
That's a while ago though.
Yeah. How many seasons will there be? How many seasons? Well, at least 2. Yeah.
At least 2.
At least 2. Yeah. Hi, Bank Shark. Nice to see you. Launch. The stream is awful. Oh man. Sorry about that. Yeah. Maybe it's because the internet is not good. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's go to Sir Cricket. Are you guys help for? What does this mean? Show? Can I? What does it? Hype show?
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
never mind.
Oh,
Wow, that's cool. I never.
Let me scroll through while you answer.
Okay, sure. Season 1 is really over and the snapshot has been taken for the airdrop. No more ways to farm and no more accounts are getting screwed for now removing selling LSDs. This is kind of like a very sneaky question, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like season 1 is over. I think that's what I'll say. Yeah. Okay.
Just
So
go for this.
so what? Oh, show it.
Then give it some time. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. First question I have. Number 1, what precautions are there for stopping the DPEG when
Ignore
enough?
his question. Ignore his question.
Why?
Which one? The previous one?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Ignore which question?
The previous one, I think.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Number 1, what precautions are there? So number 2, what do you plan doing for Sybil's? Multiple people selling, and 3, how do we be eligible to buy it?
I'll do the third one.
Okay, good. So first, what precautions are there? Well, can you?
FB? Yeah. That was a J.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure what this means because inf doesn't actually so INF doesn't actually depeg when people swap out of INF, right? Like it's a basket of assets and you can withdraw any of these assets at any point in time. Yeah. So I think what could happen is that if you have INF USDC and lots of people are selling INF, then the price of INF could go down. But the idea is that arbitragers can and will sort of arbitrage this out, right? And so, yeah, so like for example, if INF goes down relative to USDC, but SOL is still high, then an arbitrager could take the INF and withdraw the SOL from INF or any other LST like Jupe SOL, for example, out of INF, and then they could sell it on the market for more USDC, and so this will arbitrage the price back up. Yeah, what do you guys plan on doing for Sybil's? I mean, yeah, we know that Sybils exist. We're working to sort of zero them out. I don't like Sybils myself. Yeah. How do we be eligible to buy it? Like buy the script or buy the buy?
I assume it's an LIG question, which is why I told
Yeah.
Epi to answer it. So
Yeah.
as mentioned in the earlier question, like anybody with a Solana wallet can participate in the LIG launch. You do have to have however if you want to have an airdrop too, it's based on this guy or this beautiful face here to decide whether they are airdrop or not. But you can be able to buy it. You'll be able to buy it at launch. Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. You are so let's look at this one. You are working and collaborating with some other platforms. Do they know about this decision? And how is this? What decision do you think he's talking about?
I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know what decision you mean. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, I believe that. Okay, sorry, that's not a question. This one's a question. What is the difference between 8% IFA? That's a good question. 8% LFG launch pool and 1% Jupiter LFG. 8% is what we're putting in the single-sided liquidity pool, right? And 1% is the fee that we're paying to Jupiter. So these are completely separate things. The 1%, as Soju has mentioned,
75% of 1% will be distributed across all Jupiter's voters. We will distribute the token at least. We'll distribute the 1% at least a month or two at least after launch. So FP and the Center team is aiming for end of June launch, which will likely mean the token will come in the next round of ASR, which is targeting to be in October. Just for the information, yeah.
Okay, cool. Next question, do you think? Tier.
Everyone's asking whether it's
tier or linear distribution. Well, you have to see, won't you? How much VC pay on 50M value? I don't know what this means. I think. So we raised 6.1. Yeah. What else? When airdrop? We've been working very hard. Thank you. Congrats on my success. Thank you. A lot way to go. Is the reward airdrop uniquely based on the amount of XP we found, or is it based on something else? So again, anything for airdrop, no comment. So, but it's definitely based on EXP. And I don't know. Yeah. Your EXP will matter for the airdrop. Let's put it this way.
How about we do this? This will be
Why do you refuse to pay token exchanges? It's very important for token. We've already seen Friend make stealth launch without sex and how bad they launched. Yeah, so I mean, this is again the literal sort of $1 million question, right? And yeah, I think I've explained this in the chat. So again, the pro of exchange is that they have lots of users. And potentially a lot of these users could buy a token, which will make the token pump. The bad of the sexes is number one, they know they have the users and they ask you for a lot of money. And for them, they have all the power. They know you really want to get on there, and they will just squeeze you, right? And again, for founders, this is a once in a lifetime thing. For the sex, it's just yet another token, yet another Tuesday, right? So they really have a lot of power. The other thing, more sort of but I think the real reason for me is that, look, we are Sanctum and we are really Solana native, and this is the whole point. LSTs, Solana, staking on Solana. We've never gone multi-chain, that's right. So the idea is that these sex users are not on Solana, right? If they were on Solana, they'd be on chain, right? But they're not on Solana, and so the question is what does this token even mean to them? Why should we give it to them, right? And it doesn't quite make sense. Why would they buy it, right? So I think a lot of these cases, right, I would say, look, I want the right people to hold the token, the right people to get the token, and the right people to buy the token. And so for these reasons, we don't want to pay the exchanges. And of course, as I've said, we want to really push this decentralized meta, right? Way back in November, Meow approached us and said hey, we're going to do this LFG thing, and I was yes, sign me the fuck up, this is what Solana needs. And yeah, that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, which after this later, but I want to add something first is that actually FP only very recently came to me with we might not do decentralized exchange at all. But before he did that, the Jupiter team was actually having a lot of discussions about how we noticed a trend of tokens going for like full set listings and like no on-chain liquidity. So the issue that my team is worried about is that at the end of the day, like Jupiter is a Solana DeFi. We aggregate all of Solana's liquidity, and if tokens start to lose liquidity on-chain and then start to have liquidity off-chain, providing liquidity on-chain will become a loss-making adventure because you just constantly get up between the centralized exchange and off-chain, or you just get toxic flow all day. Not a lot of people trading on-chain, and that represents like a material risk, I would say, to Jupiter and like everyone on Solana. If you have a Solana wallet and you like using Solana, you like swapping, it's a material risk, and we are and that's part of the reason why we built IFG is to start to turn the tide against this idea where you have to go off-chain without token. The first problem was, can you launch a token even to 900,000 people and not have the chain go down? Because if you had done that for Ethereum, you would have died. We managed to solve that problem. So the only problem the thing we are working on now is to working with teams like Centum to like rally the community around on-chain token launchers and like doing well that way. The people who do this the best is actually like the meme coins, the culture coins. They launch on Pump.fun, they launch natively on chain at 1 million FDV and then go up to a billion FDV. So for example, Slurf has actually $80 million in the Radium Radium Soul pool, and that's an insane amount of money in the single liquidity pool. Any like meme coin above 100 million FDV actually has more liquidity than even like most of the top DeFi teams or top like whatever teams you know on chain. And that shows the difference between like when you launch on chain and you grow over time with the community and compared to launching off chain. And that's why our team is so like we're all in on LG, we're all in on trying to help teams like Centum launch on chain. Yeah. Turn the tide against.
That's it. Cool. Yeah. Where else we go? Wait, go up. Why is the init okay, let's do that one. Like, why is the init price?
Oh, sorry.
Don't just look at the long questions.
Sorry.
The short questions.
Yeah.
Why is the init price on launch so small? Because again, we sold to VCs 50 mil and 60 mil FDV, and I think it's a pretty low price. So two things, right? One is that I think like at least like on the principal level, I want people to be able to sort of get in at that, like at the same price that we sold to VCs. But of course, realistically, the curve goes up. So like it's not everybody will get it. In fact, most people will probably not get it at 50 million, right? It's like you will get it at a higher price than that. But yeah, like I'm committing to starting low and going not too high. And just so that everybody can get a healthy entry, because like I think Sanctum has a lot of room to grow, and I'm not here to sort of extract as much value as possible day zero, right? I'm here to grow the token, right? Like, I think Jupiter did a great job, 40 cents, I think it was like 70 cents, went back and then went down, but then it went up, right? So like that's kind of like, I think that is like a good vibe, yeah.
Yeah, one more thing to add is that in the past, tokens who launch on chain at a super low price actually get heavily botted. So whatever price you put at the lowest, you basically must tell yourself that whatever price I put at the lowest, you'll be botted away. So right now, thanks to our latest like innovations like the Alpha Vault and stuff, FP here knows that when he says that the lowest price is 50 million, that $50 million FDV token will go to the hopefully go to the right person and not like a botter who's going to sell it 30 seconds later for
so the original problem was like, I think this was the Zeus. Was it? Which one was it?
Ren Zeus. So Ren had a curve that was very big.
Right.
So it went from like 1 million FDV to 30 million FDV.
Right.
So if you had botted the first one, you had a free 30x.
Right.
At the end.
So the idea is that the bot like snipes the first bins or the first few bins, right? Waits for the price to go up and then sells them back down, right? And this is like free arbitrage.
Yeah.
And so Dave, Meteora and Jupiter have designed this like nice vault system where again, you can get a low price, but then you're locked up, and so you can't get this profitable like flip arbitrage immediately.
The core thesis with the vault is whoever who gets the lowest price should not be able to immediately sell it 30 seconds later.
Yeah, exactly.
And the second thesis which we hopefully want to get is that whoever gets the first few lowest price should be like the core believers, the separating equivalent to the people who hold the token and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, that's the mouse. What did the guy mean to connect social accounts? So we're gonna launch this new page, this new like user profile page, and then that will allow you to connect multiple wallets together. We hope that this is going to be like the new paradigm going forward for seasons 2 and in general for crypto. I think having this user profile makes a lot more sense than like wallet by wallet connections, because you're able to build like a basically like a reputation system in a way. Yeah, but more details to come. Yeah. Yeah, so why 25% to team seems like a lot. There are many ways to pay team other than initial allocation. Just want to say thank you. You're welcome. This was the most fun doing an airdrop. Airdrop's not here yet, but you know, that will be fun too. Thank you, my friends. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like 25% is on the high end, but it's not it's not unheard of. Like, so Jupiter was 20% team. But like Jito, for example, was 24.5% and Drift was 25%. So there are a lot of top tier teams taking around this allocation as well. I mean, just frankly speaking, the reason why we take 25% is two main reasons. Number one is we've been working for this. We have been working on this like for 3.5 years. And we could have launched the token like a long time ago, but we didn't. And now we're launching it. That's first reason. Second reason is because we have more co-founders than most. We have actually 4. And so just trying to make sure that everybody is like sufficiently motivated to work. You know, like for example, if you have 2 co-founders, 20% divided by 2 is 10, right? Here 20% divided by 4 is 5, right? So that's kind of like a calculus. So I mean, I think like more generally, like I mean, it's easy for me to say, but I do believe this, which is that like, look, I think that extra 5% to the team or not to the team is not really going to matter. What really matters is like how's the token going to do, like years from now. And so like if the team is sufficiently motivated, right, then the price can sort of like go way up and increase like way more than what community allocation you get. Yeah. Like next question.
This?
Yeah, sure, yeah, we'll do that.
It's the LSDs
there's a
on
question.
email, so.
Yeah. How do you foresee? I like this question, by the way.
Okay.
And then we have the question from Solar.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you see the future of Sanctum playing out, given the difference in ETH versus Solana staking dynamics? Given that the Sol landscape should be much more fragmented versus Lido dominating in ETH. In particular, do you foresee any type of scaling-based Ponzi games similar to the ones like Eigen, Lido, Outlayer playing out on Sol? And what role will Sanctum play there? Yeah, so I mean, first of all, I don't think the Sol landscape, I don't think the word to describe the Sol landscape is fragmented, right? I mean, it is true that there are and there will be like a ton of LST tokens, but the whole point of Sanctum is that you have this unified liquidity layer, right? Together with Jupiter, right? Like you have any LST, right? That's like a tiny LST, maybe it's like 200 Sol supply, whatever, right? But it's able to trade like just like it was like this massive staked ETH token, right? Like lots of liquidity. That's the whole point of Sanctum and Jupiter, working together to get you like the best price, unified liquidity layer. That's the whole point, right? Yeah. So that to answer the first part, right? I think that like Sol isn't fragmented per se. But right, like the fact that we have so many different LSTs means that the competition is going to be a lot fiercer, right? Like protocols like Jupiter are going to, validators projects are going to have to fight a lot harder for your stake, yeah, like Jupiter, pumping the yields of 100,000 Sol, right? That's a lot of Sol, guys. Yeah, and so they're gonna work. They're gonna have to work a lot harder for your stake. They're gonna have to sing for their supper, and like this is like, oh wait. Oh my god, they called me on stream. That is going to be a lot more sort of like a lot more competition, which means like more consumer, like better for the consumer, right? And the fact that it takes it takes the projects like to set up an LSC like this means that innovation can happen like at the speed of light, basically. You can launch a token with no capital instead of having like millions of dollars backing, right? You can launch a token, launch an LST, have a new idea, right? And then like try it, and if it doesn't work, like fine, right? And like a lot of this like new innovation, stronger competition, like that's going to be a lot better for Solana, and we're gonna see like LSTs really like you're gonna like the things that can be done with LSTs on Solana is going to be 100x more than the things that an LST can do on ETH, right? What can you do on ETH? Like you can borrow and you can lend, like that's it, and or you can restake, really, restaking Ponzi's. But on LST, right, like the whole point is on Solana, what can you do? Maybe you can pay for, you can pay for Squats Pro, right? You can maybe get coffee from Reposa. You can mint an NFT, right? You can maybe do a DCA into shitcoins, right, or into meme coins or into USDC even, right? So there's a lot of you could support your favorite artists and creators and influencers, and so there are so many things that you can do with LSTs that you can't do on ETH. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Let's go. Your question.
GM, how's going to be the RLG DRM curve like? Minimum between FTV? Not question actually. What are you going to choose?
I have no idea. we'll figure it out, right? Like I mean, just be frank, I have no idea right now. This is the whole point. Like also over the next few weeks, right? Soju and I, and hopefully the majority, like Ben Chow as well, we're going to be like basically just sketching this out, like playing around with these different curve parameters, and like see like how there are a couple of things we need to balance, right? We want to make sure that the people in the vault get a good deal, but not too good of a deal, because that fucks over the people who don't get in the vault. We want to make sure that like there's enough of price discovery, right? So for example, if we did start at 50, end at like 100, right? It's going to sell out like for sure, and like that's not. I mean that maybe maybe that's good, but it's not good for us, and it doesn't tell us like price discovery. So we want to like give it like room to run, so to speak. And of course, just being frank, like this strategic reserve, the amount of money that that Sanctum can raise from this LFG launch will directly determine how like the scope of ambition that we can have for Sanctum. So I want to raise I want to raise like a good amount, right? Like not necessarily like optimizing for like the most money possible, right? But the more I can raise within reason, the bigger plans we can have, and hopefully that translates into higher token price in future. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yep.
What else do we have? Maybe this one, like this one, like this.
One?
Yeah, you just tell them. I mean, we've already done this one, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how to get an initial price, a decent price? Okay. Yeah. So the point here is that with the Alpha Vault, there is no advantage of being quick, right? You just maybe can you talk a little bit about how it works? Yeah.
The Alpha Vault just has like one core thesis is that like we want to make sure that the first few beans or the lowest price goes to the true believers per se. And the way we are doing it is that basically you put your USDC into this bot. The bot will help you buy the pool faster than the other bots, but you get your tokens back with vesting. So
how do you make sure that your bot is faster than the other bots?
Because our bot is with the pool, and the bot swaps right before the pool opens.
Okay.
And then when the bot is swapping, no one else is swapping the pool.
I see. So it gets like first dips. First dips.
Yeah.
Okay.
The key here is that there's a vesting parameter. So FP and I and the community will talk about it and we'll figure out what is the ideal key and vesting. So for example, when you have one reason why people bought LFG launches is that you know that when you buy the token, you can sell back to the pool which the team owns. So the team will leave the pool there for a few days, and you know that for a few days you can sell tokens in size and take away the USDC from the team. When it comes to the bot, you can set a cliff that actually only happens after the team has withdrawn the liquidity. So the bot, whoever deposited the bot knows that they can't get that.
So
guaranteed.
it's not guaranteed free money.
They can't dump back on this poor guy and get his money and get a 10x. Yeah. Which means that the people who deposit the vault will have to like weigh those.
Yeah. So I think for the point of it is like if you choose to put into the vault, you get a good price, like guaranteed like better price than everybody.
You will be first. You are guaranteed to be first.
You are guaranteed to be first, which is potentially a lower price, but right, you give up the sort of like the free call option, right? You give up the ability, like because it vests, you give up the ability to dump on anybody else.
Yeah. On the team.
On the team.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What else? Serious question. Do you have any challenges with being so awesome? Yeah. Tell us about.
Tell us about that one.
I can buy coffee with Cloud Token. I mean, we're working. So this is something that could be interesting, right? It's not technically part of this token launch, but the idea is that we're working with Repulsor Coffee, and then we have this Repulsor LST, right? And if you hold Repulsor LST, you can get like a case of coffee or beans, shipped to your doorstep. So that's like again, like secret alpha, very early. It's not there yet, but like it's coming. Yeah. What else? Can you show us your best cloud drawing on the whiteboard? Are you good? Are you good?
Go for
I'm
it.
terrible.
You are the
But
one that
James,
called our
but
token cloud.
James has a great he has this great I look. We have actually a cloud. Let me show you guys. Like, look.
You can't have a whiteboard and not try to draw a cloud.
This is like, oh my god, this is such a shit whiteboard. Like, those are clouds here. See, this is actually a map from our Pathfinders NFT project friends. Yeah.
Draw a cloud, man. Give the people what they want.
Is that? Oh my god, it looks like shit. maybe like this. Oh my god, it looks like a piece of shit.
Just trying to form. Anyone have any more questions? Please drop it in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Will team wallets be available to track? There's a question there. Can you put that on?
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will team wallets be available to track? So we will. So we have some wallets that are signed up for Wonderland, and obviously we're gonna sort of like zero them out. Yeah. So we are not farming our own token. Yeah.
What do you think of a hybrid? Oh, don't talk about it.
I mean, yeah, just so linear, tier, or hybrid. I think I think actually this is a false dichotomy. And so like I don't know if you guys have seen my tweet. I have this kind of tweet where I talk about like this, like when we talk about like linear, linear, tier, or hybrid, right? We're really talking about airdrops on one axis, which is like how much money do you have, right? And really like this is like thinking about how to differentiate like how much how you give compared to how much money you've put in. Like this is really just thinking about one axis. But can we also think about this axis, which is how earnest you are, right? And I have like a whole tweet about this, which hopefully you guys will check out. But like being earnest means like are you contributing, right? Are you being part of the community? Are you writing good content, right? So again, like I know I keep shouting things out, but like James is like great, right? He wrote this whiteboard explainer, right? Put a lot of time in it, right? That's hard to fake, and that's something they want to reward, right? So I'm yeah.
So one guy asked about this, what will happen if the DRM curve that's bought over. So part of the LFG launch, the DRM curve.
Mm-hmm. You want to?
No, it's okay. I do it.
Yeah.
Well, part of the DRM curve is not there to be the master of all and all liquidity, obviously because it's only there for a few days. So it's designed in a way where you, the retail liquidity provider, can provide liquidity and earn trading fees for doing so. But if the price swings too much, the DRM pool will come in and basically like save you in the 3-4 days there's that.
So it's a buy wall.
It's a buy and sell wall on both ways,
yeah.
because volatility is what kills retail trading providers. Right. So when the price goes above the DRM pool, you will quickly see some volatility, and then that will normalize, and then the retail liquidity kicks in. Anybody providing liquidity for Scout token on Meteora, Radiant will be earning pretty good trading fees while being like protected by the launch pool. And this sort of builds up liquidity for the token. Juke token has zero incentives on any AMMs. That is probably a super liquid token, and a small stream, can buy my token can buy Juke token as much as I can without having like more than 0.2% price impair or whatever.
So I think this needs to be like underlined, because when you first explained it to me, I didn't get it. But like the idea is that like there's the DRM pool, which is like high slippage. Do you call it high slippage? Or
high spread.
High spread, right? High spread, which means that it costs like 3%, how many bips?
3%.
Yeah, it costs 3% to do like a swap, right? Which is in most cases you don't want to be swapping on that, because you're going to be paying a lot of money, right? And in most cases you would be trading on the actual sort of like the regular Meteora pools, right? Which is like much lower spread, right? And so but the idea is that when you're providing liquidity on a Meteora DRM pool, right? What fucks you is not like when the token chops, right? But rather
I will draw, since FP has been asking. Can you see?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this is the DRM pool. There will be a lot of smaller liquidity pools on many different platforms around the DRM pool. Yeah. And then Jupiter will find Jupiter will find the best price for you.
I'll
So
bring the mic.
sometimes, okay.
Yeah.
So Jupiter will find the best price for you. So sometimes Jupiter will route you through the other retail pool, and only if the pool gets out of balance, it will route to the DRMM pool, the launch pool.
Yeah.
And then this done in the grandeur scale is how the DRMM that is there to bootstrap liquidity for the token on chain, while also making sure that retail's always at the best price via the Jupiter integration.
But the idea is that they get all the good trades,
Yeah.
right? And the toxic flow goes to the DRMM, right? Which is because, when you are providing liquidity in these AMMs, you get fucked when there's a price change, right?
Yeah.
You get what is called divergence loss or impermanent loss, which in some cases can be quite permanent. So and then the idea is that, you get all the beautiful volatility, right? The token chop, right? And you get all this trading volume, good, right? And then when there's like a big change, the token pumps or dumps, right? The DRM takes it, and so you get the best of both worlds, so everybody's happy.
So think of it as FP hugging you and making sure you are safe.
Sure.
If you are a girl, you want people to provide equity.
Okay, cool. So this is not a question. This was smart by far. We should so we are gonna wrap up in like 10 minutes or so. This was thank you very much. That's very, very, very kind of you. Congrats on the cloud announcement. Be a Sanctum depositor from being before the Wonderland days. Wonderful. The Wonderland best gamification. We have this as well. Who made the puzzles? They were great. We'll be upping the difficulty. We have like our product and design lead made the puzzles. He thought about them like super hard, and we thought that they were going to be like really hard, but it turned out that our community is like really, 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 really smart and or really, really autistic, because like the first we expected the first puzzle to take like a week, right? There's no point, and then they solved it in like I don't know, like a couple of hours. So that was like crazy to us.
How do you do that actually?
It's weaponized.
If you've ever solved one of the sentence puzzles and you were the first one, please reach out to me. I want to interview you on Jupiter.
I mean, we actually have a role. We have a role in Discord.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the puzzle masters. So
we need to interview them.
You can DM them. We'll bring them on the.
Yeah, we need to interview them.
So will we be upping the difficulty? Well, it really. Look, I mean, in like season 2 right now, up in the air, right? Like, it's gonna be great. There are gonna be evolutions, right? There's gonna be lots of stuff. I'm not sure if we're gonna do like quests again, like just like these ones, because like maybe it's boring, or like we want to spice it up, right? So I don't know if puzzles will make a return. They were a lot of fun for sure. Let's see. Yeah. Can we pre-LP? Please.
So you can pre-LP on Meteor DRMM before cloud launches, but you can only pre-LP USDC. You cannot pre-LP cloud token
because there isn't any cloud.
Because you don't have the cloud token in your wallet. So what we usually do for every RFG launch is that we create other DRMM pools with the starting price above the maximum launch price of the token, which means that you can put your USDC at like 100 million FDV or 200 million FDV. And then your liquidity will be active.
Oh, it will come.
It will immediately be trading.
That makes sense.
And there was another question about what if the DRM pool runs out of tokens. So hopefully FP and the Sanctum community comes out with a good price range where it doesn't sell out in 10 seconds, which means that there is like 1 or 2 hours at least for retail liquidity to build up.
Yeah.
Which will solve this problem.
Yeah. I mean, we will. I think. We're still talking about it. We will set the high price like pretty high, right? So that it doesn't just shoot up all the way. Because I do actually want to facilitate price discovery. I would like it to settle at a price that it should settle at.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like, and I don't want it to be like, So I want it to be like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. When Sanctum merge? I like this question. When Sanctum merge, hoodies, plushies, I need to throw more money.
I don't even have much.
Dude, like this is our old logo. Did you know? Like before we rebranded. It's and we have like this is not on brand anymore. So we're gonna have to find new merch. Breakpoint. Oh, that would be sick, dude. Like we have Breakpoint. We're gonna give out merch. Yeah, there's gonna be merch at Breakpoint. I'll figure it out. I mean, I'm not gonna figure it out. Chase gonna figure it out.
You're gonna pay someone to figure it out.
Yeah, like there'll be merch at Breakpoint. Like maybe we give like something for the folks at the after party. Yeah, but this is a great idea. Yeah, maybe you can redeem your.
Why wait for a breakpoint?
We're so busy.
Where's my merch?
We're so busy right now.
Can you
You do that.
I do okay. I will get some of that. I will be the first.
Yeah, you design it for us.
I will have community-driven merch for Centum before they have a token.
Yes, please. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah. What is the ultimate best case outcome for Sanctum in 12 months? So that's a good question, and I think like there are things that I want to do in the medium term and then like in the next 12 months. So I think one of the things that I really want to do is get the proportion of SOL that is liquid staked, and in particular the proportion of SOL that's staked in general up, right? And ideally when they're staked, they're liquid staked. I want there to be 1,000 different things you can do with your LSTs. As I've said, coffee, subscriptions, all this stuff, right? And I want to have this native Solana economy, where people are not just holding their SOL as like a speculative asset or like using them in DeFi borrow land, but really like, oh, I've got SOL, what can I do with it? How can I allocate, right, to unlock all kinds of goods and services, right? That is like very cool to me. I think like the reason we designed Wonderland in such a way is that we really want to try and onboard normies, right? And on Jupiter, you guys are doing fantastic job. I think there could be two different entry points for normies if you're going to onboard new people. One is Jupiter, which is like trade assets, trade any meme coins, trade any shit coins, trade on all kinds of assets. But not everybody, the thing is that not everybody is into trading, right? When I got into Solana, like I wasn't really that interested in trading. I was interested in holding, right? I was like, look, like I think Solana is a freaking good chain, very fast, very cheap. Like let me hold something, and then I never touch it, right? And so the idea is that Jupiter will target the kind of sort of like more degen.
Target the degen traders. He will target the girls. Center will target the girls who thinks the pets are cute.
Exactly, right?
They will do that.
It's a lot more sort of like friendly, right? Which is that I honestly believe that everybody on the world should hold Solana because I think like it's a great blockchain and it's an asset that's go up. Not financial advice, and for these people who are interested in buying and holding, I think that Sanctum could be a great entry point for that. And when we show people like all the things you can do with just your Solana, right? I think people will just like come in droves. So that's my vision. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cash has suggested having a super team bounty to design the merch, and then our dear friend Ben wants Sanctum merch. Okay. And then another question is, will Sanctum be at the summit?
Which summit?
Solana summit, which you will be.
Oh yeah, we'll be there. Oh,
so we have
buy my flight.
Okay, I haven't bought my flight too, but we'll both be going to Malaysia. So if our dear Cash can come up with the bounties to have merch design, and our dear Ben can get them produced in Malaysia, he will be in summit throwing merch in the air.
Okay, why
promise?
not? Yeah. You promise.
Promise, okay.
Promise. Sumpah.
Let's go.
LFG.
Okay. Any questions?
Targeting the girls by. I want this one. I just want to put it out there. Sorry, what's the question?
What we do with the USDC.
So crypto DIMM pool sell 8% tokens. What would the team do with the USDC? I think the purpose of the USDC, right, is to enable us to make big bets, right? So I think, as I've said, the more money we can raise, the more we can do, like in terms of like accelerating the adoption of Solana and increasing like the progress towards the North Stars that I talked about, which is like mainly getting the proportion of Solana up and onboarding people and allowing more people to do more with their SOL, right? What that looks like specifically, right? It's a bit too early to say, right? But I know that like USDC is like a resource that I can then use like to sort of like be aggressive and be strategic and bringing this vision to fruition. And I'll be honest, like winter is coming, like bear market might be coming. We don't know when, right? Hopefully long time from now, right? But I think in those cases, right, it's good to always have like a stable war chest rather than have it all in your governance token. Yeah.
Well, looking forward to seeing what big bets FP and Sanctum team will make.
But we're not gonna use it to buy Ferraris or anything. That's for sure. Yeah. Can't even
It'll be nice for you to buy me one though.
No, you can wait for the airdrop, I guess. Can't you reply to us? What do you do with LSTs? I mean, do anything you want with them. Yeah, like that's you can do anything you want. You put it in Borrowland or use it in all the different vaults.
Can separate the jupe, so
you can if you want. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're
Last
pretty much-
question, last
yeah,
one or
we're
two
pretty,
questions.
We're pretty much done, right? So I guess we can sit here for like a minute.
Have a nice one last cheers.
One last cheers. Cheers.
Yes, I went back to the can.
Cheers. Yeah, okay, cool. So I think one last question and then we'll wrap up, right? The eligibility hasn't been announced. No, it hasn't. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. I think those are all the questions that I think we worked through all of them. So yeah. Thank you all for coming. Let us know how we did. We'll do more of these things, and hopefully they'll be better produced. You said you had a team and stuff. Like they'll be a lot nicer. It's not just the two idiots here talking. Thank you very much. Now we're gonna log off and get some.
We have
rest.
13,000 people watching.
Holy fuck! Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
13,192. Well done. Well done.
Well, yeah. Anyway, thank you all for coming. I need to.
Don't ignore me on stream.
Sorry.
Don't ignore me on the
Okay.
That's all right.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. Right.
See ya.